Good morning, friends. Pastor Jason checking in on this Friday morning. Just going to continue our look at some of these prayer practices that we started on Sunday. Going to think back to Monday. Pastor Angie got us started with breath prayer, and on Tuesday we talked about centering prayer. The last couple of days we've kind of been digging deeper into that contemplative prayer. To Today we're going to move into conversational prayer. Now, um, the the whole point of this week of this series is not that we're asking you to take on all of these new practices, but just to maybe present you with some options to change, enhance, maybe bring some new life into your prayer life. There's not going to be a one size fits all for any of these, and each are kind of a different way to come to prayer, and some of them build on others. But it's more that we just kind of want to get out there this idea that there's more than one way to go to God. There's more than one way to talk to God. There's more than one way to kind of get to a place where you're quieted and you're centered to be able to listen to God. And that as these during these kind of odd, strange times that we're in, this can be a really good place to kind of root ourselves in to prayer, to dig ourselves in. And then as we talk in the coming weeks about some other spiritual practices, what we'll see is that all of them are built upon prayer. Prayer is what connects us to God more than anything else. Prayer is the sure foundation upon which we build the house of the rest of our spiritual life. So that's why each day this week we've been hitting this from just a little bit of a different perspective with another bit of a suggestion, a new wrinkle, and that's all that we're doing today as well. So conversational prayer might not be what that you have in mind when you hear it at first. It sounds like this idea of that you're going to go to prayer and be in conversation, which is what we want. We want to be talking with God in our prayers, right? Not just talking to God, but talking to God, pausing to listen, and having this back and forth. This practice, though, that you'll find in your packet, this idea of conversational prayer, though, is actually more about being in prayer with other people, with those around us, and it can be a really powerful practice. Um, for example, one of the exercises that you'll find in your packet simply suggests that when you find yourself talking to a Christian friend about concerns of your heart, suggest that the two of you pray together. That may mean that you and a friend, you're discussing someone who is sick or ill, or a situation that's going on, and maybe just right there in that moment, hey, I'm gonna start to pray about this. Would you like to join me? Maybe you start that prayer out loud, and when you stop the prayer, but that other person comes in and they respond to what you're praying. This takes a little bit of boldness, may take a little bit of practice, because it will require a lot of people to do something that they really don't like to do, and that is pray out loud with or in front of other people. But getting into this conversational prayer is a great way to kind of grow your confidence, to grow your boldness, and to be able to walk into a place and just feel a need and sense a need of prayer. Just maybe just out loud, just say a prayer there. In response to someone else's prayer, you respond back to that in prayer. Maybe the way that we do this in our small groups, depending on, and I know each group is going to do this a bit differently, but as we go around taking our prayer request, conversational prayer could look like that someone starts a prayer, and each time they finish a topic, someone else can jump in with their next prayer topic. And maybe rather than going around the room and collecting a list, we just open up a prayer. We go around person from person, listing out loud, voicing our prayer, sharing our concerns and our needs just with the group in a dialogue, all in prayer. Um, there's many people are going to be uncomfortable with the idea of doing this, and that's fine. Maybe find just that one person who you would be comfortable practicing kind of praying conversationally with. But the fruit that this can yield to really strengthen our spirit, strengthen our prayer voice, to give us some courage and some boldness. That's something that might be really, really needed, friends, in these coming weeks and months. As we emerge from our homes, as we start to get back out in public, as we start to gather back together, as people are going to be uneasy and worried, and as people are going to be grieving and mourning for the losses that have accumulated over these, 2 to 3 months by the time that we may get back together, to be able to confidently and boldly offer that person some prayer right then and there on the spot, wherever you are, and to invite them to join in. Two hearts joining together, three hearts joining together, united by that common prayer. There's a lot of potential for some breakthroughs, a lot of potential for healing to be put on display, and for grace to be put on display. So, you know, so if you have your packet, check out the section on conversational prayer today. See how that speaks to you. See if that kind of gives you, perhaps you've had a nudge to pray in your small group, or when we go back to church, that you've talked about being the liturgist, or you're just uneasy about speaking in front of people. Look at some of the exercises, look at some of these practices that are suggested. If you'd like some help, if you want to talk to someone more about this, I'm happy to answer whatever questions that I might be able to. Feel free to drop us a comment, drop us a note here on the post. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your faithfulness to watching all of these videos. Member of our small group last night talked about how that they're trying to watch as many of the things put out by the church as they can, but there's just so much, and that's kind of what we're trying to do, folks. Is kind of flood social media, so that if you have a day, or you have a time, or you have a few hours where you feel like you're just kind of reeling and you're losing your footing, that you're getting some kind of connection to the church, something that's familiar. You're seeing a face who that just to kind of keep us held as tight together as we can for right now. So, friends, I hope and pray you all have a wonderful Friday today. Hope that you guys have a good weekend. I'll check in tomorrow morning with another video, and then hopefully we'll see each other on Sunday for worship. Have a great day. Stay dry, stay warm, and know how much that you are loved, friends.